All right, dads. Nothing says late stage capitalism for an outdoor dad quite like an RV show. From full on rockstar glamping to something you can actually tow behind your truck, we all end up asking the same question. Do I actually need this? Because the heart says yes, and the brain says, how do I justify it? So let's go open this can of worms, shall we? Durable dads, brothers from other mothers, and sisters from different misters, thanks for tuning in. Today we're keeping this one simple. There's going to be no builds, no deep gear tests, just a straight up reality check. Because when it comes to RVs, this isn't about what looks good in a brochure. It is about, does this actually make getting outside with your kids easier? Or just more complicated? And honestly, this is something we're going to be doing a lot more of. Taking a look at outdoor gear and ideas and figuring out what actually makes sense for real life. Let's call this Do Dads Actually Need This episode. All right, so you kind of got the spectrum right here. You've got rigs that are basically houses, and then you've got smaller setups that actually make sense for weekend trips. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of this looks pretty awesome, but herein lies the problem. Camping with kids isn't a gear fantasy, it's logistics. You've got food, clothes, random treasures, stuff they insisted on bringing and won't carry. At some point, you're not an outdoorsman anymore. You're the operations manager. So the real question becomes, does this reduce chaos or just reorganize it? All right, here we go. Now we're getting into the smaller, more compact kind of rigs where you might want to start out. Now, these force you to be self-contained to your rig, which is a great idea, but not necessarily the best for kids. And you're going to lose the base camp idea of what something like a little unit like that will do for you. Now, an interesting note that I just wanted to put in there is that I just talked to the rep, or one of the reps, and if you want something that has more than just a cassette toilet, you're looking at going into the 18 to 20 foot kind of radius and length in order to be able to get your full deck of amenities. Okay, so if you're looking for something small, 10, 12, 14 feet, good luck with the bath, guys. All right, this looks pretty good. They're all open tours, and this is about as big as you'd probably want it. I'm not sure of the size on this one. Ooh, 21 grand. Well, let's take a look at the amenities. Stove, sink, a hood fan. Looks like a queen size bed. That's perfect. Some storage, a little bit of a table, probably folds down into a bed. And a 3-piece, that is okay. This is certainly acceptable, and you know what? Sorry, whoa, back up, nice and easy, beep, beep, beep. Not any worse than some of the rooms I've been in my life. Good Lord. Look at that thing. Okay, now we're in Monsterland. That is a rolling house. I can't believe you can tow that, or what you'd even tow that with. Okay, now we're getting into something a little bigger. We got your Rockstar tour bus action, and a big mother-loving Winnebago in the background. There, I'm gonna go check that out. Lone Star would be proud. Okay, I found something that's a little bit on the shorter and something I'd actually want or think about pulling with the 4Runner. And this little unit, I'll give you a quick little spin with your bed. You got your bunk beds, okay, handy. You got a little bit of a kitchen here. And behind me,
You know all the cover putting around the house, eh?
pretty nice.
Very big.
And behold, behind me, we have a bathroom. And a full one too. So you can't see this as a shower and a toilet. I don't think this thing's super long. I'll be back with some more information on this lengthwise. It is, however, expensive at $25K. So, editor's note or update, that bad boy, $25K, nicely laid out. Not that heavy, 17 feet. Right on the cusp. For me anyway, this guy, what he'd want to pack around, but that thing's fully equipped. Let's pretend for a second that you went to the RV show and you're right on the cusp of an impulse buy. However, there's still stakeholders to get through here. So what I've done is I've kind of put together a little bullet point list of some ammunition you might need when it comes time to throw down and explain the brilliance of this purchase. Let's begin. Okay, there's an argument here that it would be like parking, okay? Pretty much anywhere. You can park this anywhere. Let me elaborate. Campgrounds are a great place to park the thing. Campsites are there, RV parks. Hell, off of a Forest Service road. Park it pretty much anywhere. Walmart, sure, why not? People do that all the time. Stealth camping. We're just gonna go ahead and gloss over the whole storage issue. Here's a good one. It's the ultimate base camp. It really is. Okay, you can have everything packed and ready to go, sitting in your RV, and then just hitch on or drive off, and you're there. Okay. These puppies have high resale value. It's true. And especially the smaller ones, they're actually more. Okay. So the less, the more. So God forbid you ever have to sell this, or best case scenario, you want to sell it to upgrade to a better unit that fits your family. Okay. So the high resale value is there. So technically it's an investment. Hey, it's a safe and environmentally protected place for you and the kids to go should anything happen on your nature excursion. Okay, so if the weather turns inclement, you got a place to go, or suspected bears in the neighborhood, you got a place to go. Kids get their own tents though. Oh yeah, and it's great for your back. Much better than on the ground. Okay, so and you know what? Depending on what level you go up to, you've got amenities, right? So you've got your kitchen. You know, there's a stove, a sink, a refrigerator, a bathroom. You know, tables galore. I mean, come on, you're really thinking of other people here. All right, some real talk. There's no question an RV makes things easier. There's going to be more comfort, a faster setup, less friction, which leads to more time actually enjoying the trip. And that matters, because when you've got limited time and limited energy, anything that lowers the barrier to getting outside, well, that's worth looking at. But there is a cost. And it's not just money, and that can be serious money. There's storage, commitment, less spontaneity actually. You're essentially trading simplicity for convenience. So final verdict, do dads actually need an RV? No, you don't need one to get outside with your kids. But will it make things easier and more comfortable and probably get you out more often? Yeah, it might. So whether you're 3/4 of the way to signing the papers or, you're working towards it, this is the No Nonsense Read. Okay, kids, if this gave you something to think about, or at least help you make sense of the chaos, stick around, because we're going to keep putting more of these ideas to the test. We're going to keep figuring out what's actually worth it and what just looks good on paper. And as always, here's me keeping the coffee hot and the decisions questionable. Peace out, Scout.
Arr.